everyone, welcome to the program. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin Easton, and this week we're headed to the movies. Following the live-action remake of Aladdin, we speak to its famous cast and director, Guy Ritchie. A little bit later on, we'll speak to Tunisian film producer Tarek Ben Ammar, known for his work on films like Femme Fatale. But first, the myths and legends of the MENA region have captured the imagination of international filmmakers for decades, and one of the latest storytelling offerings comes from Disney. Made in conjunction with Jordan's Royal Film Commission, Aladdin created 150 local jobs and involved more than 1,000 extras in some Bollywood-inspired parade scenes. It's not the first American, Hollywood or British production to tap the country's resources or make use of its dramatic scenery. From Lawrence of Arabia in 1962 to Rogue One, a Star Wars story just 3 years ago. The latest piece of the regional Middle East film puzzle is the live-action adaptation of Disney's 1992 classic Aladdin, parts of which were shot in Jordan's sculptural desert. British director Guy Ritchie spoke to Inspire in the capital Amman about the movie's making. What was your experience like filming some scenes here? Did it match your preconceptions?
Yes, it did. I mean, it's funny, it's sort of built into the psyche of most film directors, is really is Wadi Rum, I suppose. But, you know, Jordan was perfect for me for a number of reasons. But least of all was the practical component, because I don't really concern myself with that. But it managed to deliver what we needed aesthetically.
Well, now, of course, you're part of the story, the developing story of the film sector here. What was the biggest challenge making Aladdin?
And I suppose making sure that you fused the old with the new. And what I mean by that is that you didn't disturb the nostalgia of the first film, yet you embellished it with applicable character evolution, if you will. So there needed to be some addition in order to make the film feel more contemporary and accessible to a modern audience.
Showtime.
No, I'm in charge, okay? I say when it's time. Really?
The film's protagonist, Aladdin, is played by Egyptian-born actor Mina Massoud, a relative newcomer who saw off thousands of hopefuls to make up a very multicultural cast that includes actors of Tunisian and Iranian descent. What message do you think that diversity that the film has sends to Hollywood?
Depending on how well the film does, but hopefully with God's grace, if it does well, then you know, I think it sends the message that you can still cast people of color and people from this region and other regions to carry films and still have them succeed.
You and Rami Malek, to name another, are being pushed center stage, especially in Hollywood terms. Do you think the timing is right now, whereas it wasn't before?
Absolutely. I think there's definitely a shift. You know, when I first started my career, my first professional on-camera job was on a show called Nikita, and I was playing Al-Qaeda #2, you know, so it kind of shows how far we've come, and I think there's no better time than now.
O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3.
I'm kidding. Watch this.
Aladdin's animated sidekick and computer-generated confidant is the genie, played by Will Smith, who had big shoes to fill following the character's portrayal by the late Robin Williams in the original animation film.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace?
As for Ritchie's Princess Jasmine, played by Indian-British actress Naomi Scott, she's not your average royal on the rise. She's sassy, driven and determined to rule her father's kingdom.
I thought a princess could go anywhere.
Not this princess.
Her signature song is a defiant declaration of independence called Speechless, composed by 8 times Oscar winner Alan Menken. And breaking with film convention, it's something that the 26-year-old managed to nail in one live take. In light of the Me Too movement, in light of the message of female empowerment that you embody in this film, do you think the timing is particularly important?
Absolutely. You know, we're in 2019, and I think that I loved this character. Like, this character made me feel empowered growing up, but I do think there was room to modernize her so that it makes sense for a 2019 audience, you know? I think it's really important to... that our female heroines, they have a narrative that they can push forward, and that they are well-rounded and, you know, imperfect, of course, and they go through a journey. I think that's something that's really, really important. And of course, I'm just so proud of how diverse our cast is, and how, you know, so many people can watch this movie and connect in some way, or relate, or see themselves. I think that's a really powerful thing.
Whilst Aladdin is something of a departure from Ritchie's trademark neo-noir films like Sherlock Holmes and gangster films like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, the movie bears its fair share of fast-paced chases and gritty tussles. And fans would be seeming to lap it up, with the film having brought in more than $150 million in its first 8 days at the US box office.
Do you trust me?
Which is encouraging for Disney, and in particular Jordan's Film Commission, which hopes the movie continues to work its magic and encourage other filmmakers to jump on a carpet ride to the region to produce their next project there. Tunisian producer Tarek Benammar has been in the international movie business for almost 50 years, and it was he who in the 1970s introduced George Lucas to the idea of filming the first Star Wars in his home country. Since then, he's gone on to help produce more than 70 other films, and he attracted particular attention for becoming the worldwide distributor of the Passion of the Christ film in 2004. The former manager of Michael Jackson's History World Tour also produced the historical film Day of the Falcon, set in 1930s Arabia and starring Antonio Banderas. And today, Benammar is urging Arab leaders to invest more in cinema. Darlene Hassan caught up with him in Egypt to find out more.
Tarek Benammar, welcome to Euronews. As the new technology keeps developing, your workflow as a producer is changing, distribution online, Netflix, and more. How do you adapt with these developments?
The basis is that the story has to be good. Whether it's on TV or online or on DVD or on iPhones, the audience has to be captivated. A television series can be 10 hours because you see it at home. You can see one episode, stop, see another episode, or do what the young people do now, they binge. Digital distribution is a wonderful technological gift for the youth, for the audience, that they can have access to anything, anywhere without going to the theater. It's a wonderful opportunity for filmmakers and producers to improve their talent and to have success.
There is Hollywood in the US, Bollywood in India. Why do you think there isn't any Arab industry recognized internationally? Is there anything missing?
Each nation has its audience. The objective of a filmmaker is to talk to its culture, to its people. If we organize ourselves, thanks to digital, thanks to internet, a Kuwaiti can see a Tunisian film, a Moroccan could see a Yemeni film. And so in reality, we could do what India does on its own market. Granted, we are 21 countries. So let's first be appreciated in our culture, in our language, with our people. You have an incredible demand of entertainment from this youth. So that should be our priority.
Saudi Arabia is opening cinema theaters and starting cinema production. What is your outlook to the cinema industry in Saudi Arabia and the GCC countries?
I'm very much in favor of what Saudi Arabia is doing. But the Arab world, I mean, Abu Dhabi and Kuwait and Dubai and Qatar have a lot of cinemas. So multiplexes have opened elsewhere before. But Saudi being the biggest market, this should be a great opportunity for Arab filmmakers to talk to the Saudi audience, to the Saudi youth.
Tarek, what is your upcoming project?
I'm preparing some very big projects, historical projects, that I want to do, because historical projects are difficult in the cinema. I'm looking at projects that always come back to my world. My country is Tunisia, and I now have 2 big projects to be shot in Tunisia. And also, I would like to do something in Egypt. Tunisia gave me freedom of women, open door policy, a country with tourism. You know, people are ignorant. They don't know who we are. Our role is to let them understand who we are, as we know who they are because of their culture.
Very short advice to young filmmakers.
Follow your dream. Don't give up. I know it's easy to say, but that's what I did. With an Arab name, nobody wanted to give me money. And today, there is no hidden talent in a closet. So just, however, learn to tell a story. Not everybody knows how to tell a story. You think you know, but you will only know when you make it, and you can keep somebody sitting for an hour and a half. If you have that talent, don't let go.
Tariq bin Ammar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for inviting me on the show.
Well, that is a wrap of our show. We hope that you enjoyed it, and don't forget you can catch all of our episodes online at euronews.com. Before the credits roll, let me leave you with some film buffs who caught our attention on social media this week. Filmmaker Malik is pictured in Abu Dhabi with the crew of her first short film with the hashtag #SupportArabCinema. And Egyptian actor Shadi is suspended in animation during a recording session for his movie.